So with MIUI ROMs for the Redmi Note 5, you get access to a plethora of great features and customization that Redmi provides for its users. But its biggest downside is that it's based on an older version of Android 9 Pie, and it's not that short. It's not going to be a short time before they release Android 10 with MIUI 11. And so what if you could have a ROM based on Android 10 that's still feature packed and still maintains great stability and minimum battery consumption? Well, this ROM here, Havoc OS 3.1 based on Android 10 is the perfect solution for that. Hello, my name is Ann. So I've been using this ROM for over a week, and here's my full review. Now, I'm probably gonna breeze through the features with Android 10 here because if you watch my older Pixel Experience 10 review on my Galaxy J7, then you're probably well acquainted with all the changes Android 10 has to offer. But in this video, I'm going to just breeze through it so that you guys just won't be so missed out on. So this is Android 10. You can see this is the Easter egg here, and this is on the latest Havoc OS 3.1 and on the latest January 2020 security patch levels. So basically, Android 10 gives you a new navigation system in the form of gestures. So if you go to the settings system, the configuration center, gestures, and the system navigation, you can see a new option called gesture navigation, and it helps you do the same old iPhone 10 style navigation that you all are very well aware of. Now, and after using it for just a week, I'm very used to it. The learning curve was fast, and even though the animation isn't exactly the fastest out there, maybe Evo X is a little bit more fluid in terms of animations. And also it kind of infiltrates the side menu. For example, during the settings, if I swipe up, swipe right here, we go back. Instead, I have to sort of use these special gestures to sort of provoke that side menu, which is a little bit more frustrating, but it's still the best gesture, one of the best gesture implementation out there. Now, another big thing with Android 10 is a dock mode. You can see that we have the dock theme here, and it works like a charm. It works system-wide. All the apps are supported. You can see that Play Store. And some of the more lesser known app that doesn't support dock mode, like Gmail, now supports dock mode, and the Tumblr app, which I also very enjoy, also has a dock mode. Now additionally, you can also use the auto dock mode to sort of schedule this dock mode appearance and see how it really since some time of day or in the ambient light and so on. We also see major focus on privacy. So if you go to the settings and the privacy sections, which is a separate option, has a lot to tweak. We do have one of which is the permissions manager, which you can go here. You can actually change the if you go to location here, you can actually change how it access the location all the time or while using the app. And also, digital well-being also got a very well-sized update with a new feature called focus mode. Focus mode basically, let me just choose a few apps here. If you turn on focus mode, it will block all of these distracting apps. So all the notifications of that app will be disabled, and you just can't access it, right? Unless you disable the focus mode. And Also, there is a new theme app, which you can access by hitting the styles and wallpapers. You can actually change a lot, quite a lot of options, including the font, the shape for the quick settings tile, app icon, and a lot of more things like the wallpaper. Um, and of course, if one of my favorite features of it is in the Wi-Fi, you can now actually share a Wi-Fi connection by using a QR code. Now, if you want the maximum amount of customizations, there is a configuration center. There are just a lot of options provided by Havoc OS. In fact, there's so much that I'm just gonna mention a few customizations that are my favorites. For example, in the status bar, we do have you can actually change how the clock and date appears. You can change how the gestures. You can enable or disable the network traffic, how the battery icon display, and of course tweak a couple of status bar icons. In the quick settings, we have the old favorite quick pull down and quick pull down. We have the battery estimates. Change how the transparency of the quick settings, the grids, and of course the brightness slider and footer. Another great thing is the ambient display, which you can actually change how you want it to be always on display or not. How you want the music tickle to appear, and how you want to provoke it, including double tap, pickup, or hand wave. And of course there is the power menu and the buttons, which can enable a couple of options when you press and hold the power button. Right, you can actually add a couple of more options there. There's also gestures, lock screen, etc. You definitely get a kick out of it. Now there's also additionally the Xiaomi pods, which has a couple of Xiaomi settings like Mi Sound Enhancer for audio quality. This was on MIUI, and so it's good that they put it on the latest Havoc OS. And of course, a lot more options like haptic feedback. So that's all the great features with Android 10. Honestly, there were just so many features with it that you gotta have to install it on your own to be able to explore all of them. In terms of bugs, there are honestly very few bugs that I can find in the Havoc OS, as there is no serious hardware incompatibility with this ROM like the past with the Galaxy J7 2016 that I tested. But there are some bugs, specifically with the camera. Now, if you use the Google camera, you're gonna be totally fine. Video camera, everything works flawlessly. But if you use something like the Xiaomi camera, which is built in, you do have more options like the portrait mode, using the secondary camera, and the integration is flawless. We do have a couple more options. But if you use something like the video mode, sometimes the footage will be darker than usual. And if you use another camera app built in, which is the AOSP camera, then sometimes the camera or the video mode sometimes will just crash the app. It's working here, but in some instances it will not work. So yeah, I guess the camera compatibility is still not quite the more impeccable like we expected. But of course, since there is Google Camera, which I put a link down below by the way, everything will be way better, including HDR+, portrait mode, night sight, everything works like a charm. I guess the only thing that's not working is maybe slow motion, but yeah, that is a pretty gimmicky one if you really need them. Now lastly, I want to touch down on performance and battery life. Now, of course, as you've already mentioned in my review about this phone, this has the Snapdragon 636, which is obviously fast, and of course packed with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. This thing is a crazy performer for $100. Now, the fact that it's 636, and the ROM is entirely based on stock Android along with its amazing kernel. Actually, in terms of kernel, if you want to use a different kernel, you're gonna be a little more aware because different kernels do bring about some issues with the cameras and performance and battery life stuff. So it's just better use the stock kernel. And so those stuff means that the phone performs well in all situations, Instagram, or in different social media like Twitter and Reddit and stuff like that. Everything works very well. Now, in terms of PUBG, I actually was able to play with HD graphics, while with MIUI ROMs that wasn't possible. And despite the occasional frame drop, the gameplay was very enjoyable. Now, the battery life is also unchanged from the MIUI Global and EU that I've tested, which is very well with very monstrous battery life with 7 to 8 hours on screen time, or which translates to more than 1 day, maybe around one and a half day of usage. Also because of the partly because of the battery management with Android 10. Now, fast charging obviously is still supported in this ROM. So that's pretty much my take on the Havoc OS for the Galaxy J7 2016. Now, honestly, there are some better ROMs. Some of them are my favorite, like Evo X and Pixel Experience, but those are, already been tested on my Galaxy J7, so I want to do some other ROMs that are more interesting and the one that you guys will like, which is the one that is very customizable, like Havoc OS. And my conclusion is this is an absolute must install for anyone who wants stock Android, who wants to break away from the hassle and the lag of MIUI, and also maintain great battery life and amazing performance. So that's my review of the Havoc OS 3.1 official on the Redmi Note 5. So if you guys have any questions, just leave a comment down below. If you like this video, hit the like button down below, and also subscribe for future videos. I'm very happy that we reached the 1500 subscriber mark. Anyways, thank you and goodbye.